one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll do a roll call. Councilmember Gully.
Here.
Councilmember McGrath.
Here.
Councilmember Parator, absent. She did contact us, not feeling well. Councilmember Cummings.
Here.
Councilmember December.
Present.
Councilmember Kennedy.
Here.
Council President Mantello here, 6 present, 1 absent. Public forum, would anyone like to come up to the podium and address the council on any items on the finance agenda? Okay, no one would like to address anything on the finance agenda. We'll go right into local laws. Local law 1, a local law amending the charter of the city of Troy, section C48, authorizing the payment of eligible delinquent taxes in installments. This is Council President Mantello at the request of the administration. This is for introduction only. It will be introduced at the February meeting. It will have 3 public hearings per the charter of local laws, and it hopefully will be acted on in March. Ordinance 1, authorizing and directing the reconveyance of 165 Hutton Street. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration. Do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember December. Discussion?
Council President,
Yes, Councilmember Cummings.
I'm willing to move this forward for now. I do want to raise some concerns I've heard from neighbors around the status of this property and the other adjacent property owned by the same person, which has been owned for about 12 years and under pretty bad disrepair for my understanding is the entire time, certainly it is now. And so, at this point, I'm happy to move it forward to give us some time to see whether there's a new plan about how it's going to get fixed. But at this point, I'm unlikely to vote for it at the regular meeting.
Okay, Councilmember Cummings, may I ask, was it folks that lived in the area directly adjacent to Hutton, or is it numerous folks?
I've heard from several different sources that this is a perpetual issue. Certainly I want to make sure that we're not in a position where we're taking ownership of a building that needs to be torn down. But as long as we can get, actually we already own it, and so as long as we have a decent sense that it can get into some hands that are going to be able to actually fix it up, that would be my preference.
Is Sharon here? Sharon, do you mind answering a couple questions? So, I did the present owner back on taxes.
Yes.
What's the situation? How long? Can you give us some history?
So she owed $35,000, which she has paid in full. She said she's had some personal issues over the years, which is why she hasn't fixed it up. Codes called her numerous times to fix things, and she does eventually get them fixed. But it's been 12 years.
When you say numerous times, so for the past 12 years, she's had violations off and on? I mean,
Yes.
what kind, may I ask?
Well, the foundation was crumbling, so she put a new foundation on. Garbage, trash, I think, or overgrown weeds was another issue.
Okay.
I don't have them all with me, I don't recall them all, but there was enough of them. That they know who she is.
Councilmember December and then Councilmember McGrath.
Does she live in the city?
No, she lives downstate.
Okay.
And she told me that she wanted to meet with me to explain everything, and I said that's kind of a waste at this point,
Right.
and if you'd like to forward me the information, I'd be happy to forward it to all the council members, because it's ultimately their decision. I haven't received anything from her, and I did mention that, she could come and speak on her own behalf. She's not here.
If I still have the floor.
Councilmember December.
Is this the first time she's requested a reconveyance?
I believe so.
Okay, so if this is the first time she's requesting it, am I to presume that means she had been paying taxes prior?
Yes.
but that she has been out of paying those taxes for some time now, which is why she's coming for 3 years.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember McGrath.
Council President, so she's going to pay the 35,000 in full?
She did.
She did, okay. Now, the other, you have to ask, what are the other options? Okay?
Right.
How, I'm not familiar with the property, how, is it structurally sound?
It looks square.
We could look it up.
Certainly, yeah, feel free to,
Yeah.
that's why I want to give us a couple weeks to assess it. Again, I mean, the city owns it, we may even look at, having someone go in and.
Well, could we,
Well,
the problem being this though, if you do not reconvey it, then do we keep the 35,000?
It's my understanding that we refund the money.
Yeah, and I'm not aware of any other time in council history that we did not reconvey property back when they paid in full. I mean, I'm not aware of it.
That, I'd like to ask
That's my
that, if it was one of my questions, have we ever,
Not in my time,
Yeah,
How long have you
I'm
been
not
here?
aware.
almost 8 years.
So, again, that's not a reason you can't. I'm
No.
not saying you can't do
No.
it. It's just, you have to look at the option, is it beneficial to the city? So, I mean, I would say to reconvey it now, at least they have the money. And then, if it's that bad, the code enforcement feels that it's structurally unsound, they could post it. Right?
In theory, I think, I would say, long term, I think we'd be better off getting it into the hands that will maintain it and occupy it.
But who's that?
No idea. I mean, obviously that's a speculative and bird in the hand, two in the bush. I think this is a debate needs to happen. That's why I'm happy to pass it tonight and allow time for those discussions. Certain that if she has a plan that's new and different and has a sense that she's going to be able to get it up and occupied, that would be great. But given the track record, I'm concerned, and I don't want to end up having to take it 3 years down the line in worse shape and just as much debt.
so it looks like it was sold, online, it says in 2012 for $628,000. Yeah.
Our municipal records, I think the last sale was 2006.
Hold on, 165, 2 bath, 4 bed. Is it a 2 or 4 unit, Sharon? So it has 2 to 4.
At any rate, I mean, we have a public hearing in 20 minutes. Maybe we can move this forward for now and continue our research moving forward. I just wanted to raise this so that you all knew and could think about it over the next couple of weeks.
That's fine. And Sharon, if you could do some background on it, we'll obviously do some background also, but I've never heard of a reconveyance where we turned around and said, okay, we're giving you your 35 back, but we're taking the property. So I'd also like to hear you in court counsel's thoughts of that, so, okay? All right, we have a motion, we have a second, further discussion. All in favor of
Aye.
moving it to
Aye.
the council meeting? Thank you. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, ordinance 1 passes 6-0. Ordinance 2, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the water commissioners for the town of Waterford for the supply of water. Council President Mantello, the request of the administration. Do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second? Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion. Who wants to hit this one? Mr. Crusoe or Andy or Chris? It's just more Chris in terms of, correct. In terms of the agreement, can obviously fill us in and tell us what's different from the present in terms of the new agreement.
Realistically, what we did with this, the original agreement actually goes back to the dredging. We've always had an agreement with Waterford, and they used to bring water across the 126th Street Bridge to Waterford, and it was a small line, and then they used to sell it up in a half boat. when the EPA came in and actually started dredging the river, they put a 24-inch line under the river, and it comes up in Waterford, and that's how we sell water to both Waterford and Half Moon. So that agreement had a lot of language that referred to EPA, dredging project, that sort of thing. So what we did was we took that language out and then, added provisions of where we're going to deliver it. Half Moon and Waterford have taken ownership of the pipe under the river. So we have to deliver it to our meter pit, which is up on River Road. They have, from there on, it's all theirs. And there's some more language in there about what the official meter is, who gets to reference the meter, who reads the meter, who reports the meter, who monitors the meter, which is in all of our contract language. Just so there's no issues of, well, the meter's wrong, prove it to me, who's paying for it. So that's all spelled out in there. The other item in there is the rate. Typically, the wholesale customers have a lower rate for the amount that they buy, but then they're also a little more entitled for our bigger waterline projects, the one going to the Tom Hannock. So we'll have to set up discussions with them to go over that. So this rate's actually different than the other ones. Usually the other rates are, whatever they were, $1.99, $2.01, whatever. And then the increases are based on the consumer price index. What Waterford chose to do was choose a flat rate with an annual increase. So I think it's $2.15 per thousand now, with 2010, with 1.5% increase annually. So it's easier for them to budget. We can easily track that on our revenue side. So rather than just saying it's based off the consumer price index, which is sometimes it's been negative, sometimes it's been 3%, but the average on a 10-year, 1-year term is about 1.5%. It's just easier for budgeting.
Councilmember Cummings?
Yeah, I just wanted some clarity on how this treats those bigger projects. So I think we talked before in similar, when we were initially bonding for the new water line.
Yep.
Communities like this, you'll need to work with, but it is in this agreement that they still have to pay a portion of that.
Yes, they pay their percentage share.
Great.
So whatever, if they use 10% of our water, which is based off the past 2 years of averages, they owe 10% of the bill.
Chris, additionally, while we're talking about it, have we heard anything in terms of Hoosick Falls and water?
Just rumors.
Okay.
I hear a lot of rumors, nothing set in stone yet. I believe the engineers have presented their final presentation to the governor. I have not heard back on what it said, so I'm waiting to see what comes out of the governor's office as, the chosen source.
What about Half Moon's project? I know that they're looking to extend a line and hook up to Saratoga County.
Yes, that's actually almost complete. And it's certainly, that line is not big enough to completely fulfill the needs of Half Moon, almost just one pressure zone for them. And there's also concerns on the age of the water by the time it gets to them, because the Saratoga County plant's up in Monroe State Park.
Right.
So by the time it comes all the way down, it's a few days old. So there's some quality concerns that they're trying to work out. The idea behind that originally was, it scared when the 33-inch main broke. It was a shocker to a lot, and they lost a lot of systems. And what they're trying to do is just have a backup. So there's a provision in the Half Moon contract that they're allowed to take a certain percentage from Saratoga County just to keep that line open, that line fresh. So if something were to happen, they can easily just activate that. But with the work that we're doing, I don't see that as being an issue of a supply standpoint from Troy.
That's good. And how's our major $40 million transmission line upgrade? Where are we?
We have the property, again, we have all the properties we need. We actually have the engineer doing some engineering. We're supposed to have a meeting within we had our first meeting, which is kind of like a full sky view of what do we really need to focus on? Where do we really need to go? What do we, zero in on some things? Within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have another one with more of our road crews. What do they want to see? Where are the valve clusters gonna go? And We have a cost on, each valve cluster is 5 valves, because you have to isolate, it's like a big H. So each valve cluster is about $700,000. So we want to limit those as much as possible, but you still need them so you can isolate your main and keep water flowing. So that meeting is going to transpire of where the mains are going to go and where those valve clusters are.
That's good, Chris. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes, Councilmember Gully.
Chris, just a quick question. I see this contract, payment for services, looks like it was copied and updated with the 2019 in there. It says it's $2.10 per 1,000 gallons. Is that what we have been charging them, or have we raised that price a little bit?
They were at $1.97.
So we went up 13 cents
Yep.
per 1,000, and it's gonna go up 3 cents every year.
Yeah, 1.5% every year. And this is a 20-year contract.
What does a resident in Troy pay per 1,000 for water?
$3.64.
Okay, any further questions for Chris? Discussion? Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Ordinance 2 passes 6-0. Ordinance 3, ordinance amending the special revenue budget to accept a New York State Homeland Security grant for the purpose of purchasing radios and related equipment. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cummings, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 3 carries 6-0. Ordinance 4, ordinance amending the capital projects to allow for the closure of the capital project entitled 2015 Street Paving. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second? Second, Councilmember Cummings, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Ordinance 4 carries 6-0. Ordinance 5, ordinance amending the capital projects to allow for the closure of the capital projects entitled 2016 Street Paving. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 5 carries 6-0. Ordinance 6, ordinance amending the capital projects fund and general fund budgets to allow for the closure of the capital project entitled Fireboat. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember December, discussion.
Council President.
Yes,
Andy,
Councilmember
did they
McGrath.
buy the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bought it,
This is close to me.
This is, right.
they bought it last year, 2 years ago. These are all like.
No, I know it's all clean up, but,
Yeah.
so how much money was left over?
There's 15,000.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's okay. I understand it's just clean.
Maybe we get able to buy a truck they can tow it around.
Keep that out.
Further discussion. We need to take a vote. Further discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Ordinance 6 carries 6-0. Ordinance 7, ordinance transferring funds within the 2019 general fund budget. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion? Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cummings, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Ordinance 7 carries 6-0. Ordinance 8, ordinance amending the capital projects fund budget. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Ordinance 8 carries 6-0. Ordinance 9, ordinance amending the capital projects to allow for the closure of the capital projects entitled landfill pump replacement. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember December, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 9 carries 6-0. Ordinance 9, I apologize, ordinance 10, ordinance authorizing the city to create capital project and amending the capital projects fund budget to allow for funding for said capital project. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Cummings, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully, discussion?
Council President?
Yes, Councilmember December.
Not sure who to direct this question to, maybe Deputy Mayor, but I believe there were electric charging stations in one of the garages, and are we increasing those? Are there going to be any additional charging stations?
Yeah, I'll address that. We received this grant because we were one of the first communities to be adopted of our size in Capital Region to become designated clean, clean green. And one of the things that we did to get that was to install the charging station in the Fifth Avenue parking garage. So that was one of the 4 things that we did to get the grant. So we will be installing 2 more or 3 more, up to 3 more. And it depends on the funding. It'll be up to 5 vehicles, up to 3 more charging stations.
Great, thank you.
Will all the charging stations be available to the public as well as our city cars?
They will, it'll obviously take some time to figure out when we're charging and when we're not, but we're gonna make them, they will be available when we're not charging. It's just, there'll be different seasons will require different usage, different charging requirements, so it'll take us a while to get that under our belt. But after that, yes, they'll be available.
Just, Council President,
Councilmember Cummings.
I guess I just wanted to publicly thank you for your work on this. Good to be a cleaner, greener community. Obviously, lots more to do on this front, but this is a good step, and good to see this happening. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what I'm going to ask the council to hold off passing ordinance 10, and let's go to resolution 6 first to authorize the mayor to basically accept the grant first, and then we'll go back to ordinance 10. So let's do resolution 6. Resolution 6 authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with NYSERDA to accept a $180,000 grant as part of the Clean Energy Community Initiative. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cummings, discussion. Once again, great job. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 6 carries 6-0. We already had a motion, we had a second on ordinance 10. Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 10 carries 6-0. All right, before ordinance 11, we're going to go to resolution E. Resolution E is on the Collar City auctions. Let's do resolution 8. Resolution authorizing the renewal of a contract with Collar City Auctions and Realty Inc. for auctioneer services on city-owned surplus property. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cummings. Andy, you want to fill the same real quick? Thank you.
Attached to the resolution is a copy of the RFP that was issued that Collar City Auctions was awarded. And the RFP had stated that there were renewals to be included in the contract. However, the actual contract that was passed by the city council and had no renewal language included in it. And we were reviewing, my office was reviewing the contract recently because it was expired, compared to the RFP, and saw that it varied. The decision was made to bring it back to the city council to authorize the renewal because it was not in the original contract. This would renew the city's agreement with Collar City Auctions for 2019 and 2020 fiscal years. Just to kind of make sure there's some acknowledgement and memorialization of the renewal that needs to be done.
Andy and I talked about it, and I think it's a good move, and it's much cleaner this way. Okay, further
Chair.
discussion, Councilmember Gunn.
So this was the original contract, you didn't put out another RFP, this is just the
This
original
is-
contract?
Oh, yeah, so we're not, no new RFP
No.
went out, we just attached the original RFP so people could see that we're not making this up. There was
Yeah.
really renewal language in the RFP, it just was missed in the contract.
Right.
The original contract.
And they were originally at 18%?
I believe so, I don't remember that off the top of my head.
I don't think you changed that.
Everything remains the same as the original contract, it's just renewing, it's just an extension of the terms.
When that renewal comes up, do we have an option to RFP again to see if there's any other liquidators out there that would, an auctioneer, companies that would be out there that would wanna earn that business?
We certainly, we have the
Or
option.
do we have
put
to
it-
buy right into that extension?
We have the option to put an RFP out and select a new vendor. We have surplus property right now that has to be auctioned off, and if we were to issue a new RFP, we won't be able to move forward.
I understand that.
That's why we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 2020 will be putting out an RFP to be ahead of
Ahead of that.
the.
All right, good.
Further discussion?
Sure.
Council,
Just to
Councilmember
confirm,
Cummings.
is this the only authorized extension? We'd have to go out in 2020?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go out in 2020 for one, this will expire 12/31/20, and we'll be going back out.
Great, thank you.
And Collar City auction, you're pleased with?
Yeah, we've had no issues.
All right, further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so 6-0 carries resolution 8. Now we're gonna go to ordinance 11. Ordinance 11, ordinance declaring certain city-owned property as surplus and directing the comptroller to dispose of said property. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath, do I have a second?
Second,
Second, Councilmember Cummings, discussion?
Council President?
Yes, Councilmember Cummings.
So this is all coming from the fire department, 2 old ambulances and a personal watercraft trailer. Do we have a sense of, is that trailer's for the old boat? Is that what that's for? Or,
Believe so.
If you could find out, Andy.
um,
Further discussion? All in favor on ordinance 11?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 11 carries 6-0. Resolution 4, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into 2019 stop DWI enforcement agreement with the county of Rensselaer. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
second,
Second, Councilmember Cummings. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 4 carries 6-0. Resolution 5, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a 2018-2019 stop DWI enforcement crackdown agreement with the county of Rensselaer. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion. I would ask that council members put their phones on vibrate. Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 5 carries 6-0. Resolution 7, resolution proclaiming February 2019 Black History Month in the city of Troy, New York. Council President Mantello. Council members Parator, December, Gully, and McGrath.
Council President?
Yes.
So you added a sponsor on that as well?
Absolutely. Everyone, I believe, is on this. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember December. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 7 carries 6-0. Resolution 9, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an intermunicipal agreement with Albany Pool Communities relating to the long-term financing plan. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, this did pass public utilities earlier this evening. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 9 carries 6-0. I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember McGrath. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cummings, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, 6:32. We can go right into GS if we would like to.